Hello and welcome to Troyton Raceway on the outskirts of Darwin in the Northern Territory, Australia, where we have the Australian Grand Prix. It's the first ever race to take part on this track. It was built especially for this occasion. Unfortunately, of course, it is Monday morning, very early over in Australia. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm pretty sure. 10:30, of course, over here in the UK. Yeah, unfortunately, yesterday there was a huge downpour and parts of this track were just not safe to use, especially the hairpin, the banked hairpin. That was just an absolute no-go. So, yeah, that's why they're racing today instead of yesterday. Also, qualifying didn't get uploaded when it was meant to, Saturday afternoon or morning, whatever part of the world you're in. Again, kind of my fault. I'd said technical issues in the YouTube post. I forgot to upload it. But, yeah, that was my bad, again. But, it's fine now. And we are ready to go. Let's go through your grid then, for the Australian Grand Prix. At the back, it's Felipe Drugovich, unfortunately unable to set a lap time in qualifying in the Cadillac. Ocon in 21st, and the other Cadillac of Vessi in 20th, and then Doohan in the other Haas in 19th place. Then we've got Crawford, Pourchaire, Hadjar, Lawson, Bortoletto, Gasly, Maloney, Antonelli, Sainz, Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Colapinto, Verstappen, Piastri, Behrman, Albon, and Tsunoda for the second week in a row, getting pole by over a second. It was a very good lap from Tsunoda. Of course, if you didn't watch the race last week, we are in the 2013 cars because the 2026 cars aren't ready yet. I know, great, there's no mod for it, but yeah, very good race in Pukekohe last week, which was going towards Teo Chair into the very last lap where his tyres just fell off a cliff and he ended up losing first and then second place after hitting Pierre Gasly, who was trying to go into the pits. Why on the final lap, I don't know. But I know, I think it was weird, I don't have a clue. Yeah, it was Behrman that won his Ferrari debut, followed by Lando Norris, and also Button and Perez. Ignore that; it's some weird issue. I know it actually said Piastri last week. I don't know why it's going back to saying Perez, but yeah, we have not got long until the start of this race, and I know normally we have track facts as we go through it. We haven't really got many track facts. All I can say is it's like a 3 kilometer circuit, and yeah, it's not even a 305 kilometer race. It's 60 laps, which is what they said it to be, which I think makes it around a 90-minute race with no safety cars. No, looking at this track, I highly doubt we won't have any safety cars, but we'll see. But yeah, the formation lap will be starting shortly, any second now, and we'll get going. And I'll go on board with your pole sitter Tsunoda for the formation lap, just so you can have a look at the circuit if you didn't watch qualifying earlier on, about 2.5 hours ago. Anyway, let's go. So, I mean, they will be going very slowly. I'm not sure how slow. They're going around 60 kilometers an hour. Was it miles per hour? I have no idea. But yeah, turn one is a flat-out right-hander. It'll be interesting to see how they go through here. Trying to think of what circuits it's similar to. The start like that. Don't actually know. I'd like to point towards Silverstone, but I don't know. Then we got a very tricky right-hander. It almost is like the same right-hander, which is tightened really late in the corner. But that is turn 2, very tricky one. Then turn 3, it's based upon Bathurst, but it's the downhill section of Bathurst that we actually go up this corner. Round for turn 3 and 4. Then turn 5, down is very narrow straight that goes up and then down again. Almost like a street circuit, this track, which I mean is kind of based off of Bathurst. So in a way, yeah, it also is based off of the Troyton Racing logo. That is what the layout's from. Then we've got turn 5, right-hander, 90 degree. Another right-hander for turn 6. Bit more tighter, more of a hairpin this one. Before we go down towards turn 7. It's a flat-out right-hander for the tunnel. You know, I'm not going to record numbers because I'm going to might be messing about and forgetting what numbers they're on. But yeah, we got into the tunnel now, based off on Monaco. Flat out right hander, very dangerous corner this one. Hopefully we don't see any accidents on the outside of that one. This is a very long right hander through the tunnel. The harbour to your left. Then we've got a very tricky braking zone through, I don't know what number it is, but yeah, very tricky. You got to brake kind of while you're turning, which does make it easy to lock up. So could see potentially some issues to that corner. We've got a flat out kink, left hander going towards the 90-degree left-hander, leading on to the straight before the banked hairpin. You'll see it in a second. This is the T on the bottom of the T on Troyton, on the logo, and it looks like a very good corner. We could see some moves here, especially on the opening lap. Remember, it's the Chinese Grand Prix next weekend at Zhejiang. There were talks of potentially moving the circuit because they had some look at the circuit and it didn't look the best. Looked like a tricky one. Slow, short, 96 laps, which initially you would have thought that they'd never make that in 2 hours, but the initial sim runs have it as 1 minute just over lap times, so it should be fine. I think that they'll manage it. Anyway, left-hander now. They should manage, I think, to do it in less than 2 hours, but we'll have a look. This is, of course, reduced. How far actually is it? Is it like, I don't actually know, but yeah. Anyway, down this very tricky, like, corkscrew-like section at Laguna Seca. And then, around the final corner, we've got a flat-out right-hander to end off the lap. And that is it, Troyton Raceway. Why are they going so slowly? I don't know. But anyway, also, I should probably mention that for some reason, all the cars, apart from McLaren's, are Williams liveries. Yeah, it's just like last week when we had the Marussia liveries. Hopefully, by the time we get the 2026 cars, this won't happen. It never happened before, so I think it is an issue with these cars. But anyway, the cars line up on the grid, and we're about to go green for the Australian Grand Prix, the first ever race at the Troyton Raceway. The four lights will light up. And it's lights out and away they go. Not a great start from Albon, but I think he might have made a little bit of contact there with Tsunoda. You can't see because of all the tags. But it's the issue you have to do with these Williams cars. But it's Tsunoda who leads. Albon's going to try and dive down inside. He gets in the grass a little bit, but he sends it down the inside. And who's going to lead through turn 2? It's going to be Alexander Albon. Tsunoda, those side by side as they go up the hill. And I think Albon might have lost out there. He goes a bit wide. Behrman, and Piastri getting past. And Albon has gone from second to 4th place. And it's Tsunoda who leads Piastri, who leads Behrman, who leads George Russell and Norris as well fighting. Piastri with a much better start than last week when he spun going through turn 3 at Pukekohe. But it's going to be Tsunoda who leads from pole, Piastri, Behrman, Russell, then Albon in 5th place. I can't quite see who's further back as we go through the tricky tunnel section. And they're all cleanly through. Where's Albon has been let off? I can see some tags stopped there. I think they might have been an off. Someone's gone off. Ocon is off. Albon's gone off. Albon's down to 17th place. What's happened to him? His start goes from bad to worse. And we've got a safety car. Because who's out? Pourchaire off. Doohan's off. Ocon's off. Pourchaire, he was so close to winning his 2nd ever Grand Prix in his first proper start. I kind of forgot that they're actually still racing. It's still Tsunoda who leads Piastri. Russell now in front of Behrman. The man who won last time out, currently in 4th place for Ferrari. As Russell is going to get past Piastri before the start-finish line. No, he's not. And there we go. Safety car conditions do come into play now. But dramatic opening lap where we do see a safety car. And oh, Norris is off. Norris has hit the wall. What on earth is Norris doing there? I don't think he got any damage there. But that was strange. What on earth happened to Lando Norris? We'll get a quick replay. He just had to... oh, no. Whoops. He had to slam on the brakes, I think, to not hit Oliver Behrman. We saw Colapinto and Verstappen come into each other. And what on earth is Norris doing there? He does hit the wall. Hopefully he hasn't got any damage. But then Verstappen and Gasly have to let him by. But what on earth happened there to Lando Norris? That was a very weird off. So who was involved there then? We've got people in the pits. Drogovic, Hadjar, Albon, Ocon, all involved. Anyone else? Antonelli, Leclerc, a few cars involved. I'd love to know what happened. We'll get a replay in a second. That was some dramatic start. So we know Albon was definitely involved. So let's have a look, see what happened from his point of view. And oh, what on earth happened there? Is this a pile-up? And what on earth? Oh, did he actually crash? Did he? Going through the tunnel, he did. He spun, hit the wall hard, spun around, and then The car is just going towards the wall. He must have big damage. I think he managed to keep going. But you can see the pile up there. Who was that he was connected with then? Well, it was Charles Leclerc. So we'll get a replay on board with the Monegasque driver. 2023 world champion. And oh, it's a big hit. I'll go a bit further back actually. Can I want to see what happened? I'll try and get a replay of it without the taxi. A lot of people hit the wall there. You can see Albon has lost the car all by himself, and it's an aggressive spin. And then Leclerc just gets put into the wall. The Ferrari driver not having a great start to the race. I want to see further back from someone like Ocon maybe. He was very far back. He was actually last when we first got it. Let's see what that looks like from his point of view. I'm assuming everyone just checks up. He's trying to get past Drogovic, and then, yeah, just a pile up. And a lot of damage. Hadjar actually with no rear wing. Porchere's been spun around. I want to go back to Albon. Turn the tags off. And where is he? Here he is. I want to turn the tags off and see if you can see it off board. Here we go. And yeah, he just hits Piastri as well, and it's a no Norris, sorry, and it's a hard hit into the wall. I'm surprised he's actually managed to still be going. But yeah, we are a little bit behind, so let's hopefully. Oh, yeah, we still are under safety car. So, we're actually still on the second lap. So, this circuit is really long. A really short, sorry. Yeah, they do. I mean, they are going at, like, pit lane speed limit. And I don't think that is normal. They normally go a little bit quicker than that. So, don't really. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess they are going normal speed. So how is everyone doing then? Well, I mean. Out of those that have pitted, Ocon, Hadjar, Leclerc, Albon, Drogovic, Antonelli. Vesti must have pitted. I don't think he did initially, but he must have done afterwards. But yeah, it's still Snowden leading. Will the safety car be in this lap? I believe it will be. So I will go for a quick little break, and I'll see you after once the safety car is in at the end of the lap. So the safety car will be in once they cross the line. It'll be up to Yuki Tsunoda. He'll go. They normally go at the start-finish line. Don't really have a choice anymore. Thank you, our factor. But yeah, let's see where Tsunoda chooses to go. I mean, sometimes they go just a little bit before the line. We'll see what happens. And they go. We are green. And it's Tsunoda who leads Perez, who leads Russell. Piastri who leads Russell. Behrman 4th, Norris 5th, Gasly doing very well in 6th in the Alpine, Alpine have always been pretty strong as Russell gets into the grass, and Russell dives down inside to take the lead. That's a great restart, from the reigning world champion. The two McLarens straight away getting back past him, and he's already back down to third with Piastri, Norris, Russell, and Tsunoda side by side. Just a horrible restart for Yuki Tsunoda. Down to fourth place already. Down inside goes Norris on his teammate, almost takes him out. McLaren's going out of each other, and Norris makes Piastri lock up there, and that could have sent him off the track. Thankfully doesn't though. Russell's already back down to fourth place. As they go through the tunnel, hopefully it's going to be cleaner than last time. Russell and Behrman side by side. No, Gasly, sorry. Behrman, actually, no, where is Behrman? Behrman's down to seventh place. So Behrman's dropped off a little bit. Great restart from Pierre Gasly and great restart from Lando Norris. He leads. Tsunoda's back up to second place. Gasly already down to sixth place. Verstappen up to fourth. Gasly down to seventh now. No, taken by George Russell. Gasly dropping back a little bit. Bortoleto in front of him as well. But down inside goes Tsunoda on Norris through the banking. I said we might see some moves like that. People being more aggressive through the banking, and we did. I'd like to see when it's more cars further back though. Maybe we'll watch some more cars further back in a second on the next lap. I want to see what they're up to. As they go up the hill, Bortoleto, Maloney, Antonelli. Maloney goes down inside on Bortoleto. He's lost about 6 positions in one lap. He's not. No, he has got a front wing. Has he got a front wing? No, he hasn't got a front wing. Bortoleto's into the pits. That's a huge shame. As they start lap 5, Drugovich in the pits as well. Drugovich is out of the race. What happened to him? I'm not sure what happened to Drugovich, but we just saw him in the pits. So that's a huge shame for the Brazilian. I mean, he didn't qualify great. He was already running near the back after being involved in that crash on lap 1. But maybe he had damage from the pileup. We'll have to get a replay in a second. But as they go up the hill, Tsunoda leads Norris. Behrman down to 8th place. Got Maloney and Antonelli just behind. Antonelli going round the outside of Zane Maloney. They're side by side, and it's Antonelli up into 9th place now. Sainz watching on in the Williams just behind. Gasly back up to 5th place as they go down the hill through the tunnel once more. Lap 5 of 60, and there's still some debris. That we would always see them not clearing up debris. Debris. Why am I calling it? Why am I saying debris like an idiot? Like I can't talk. Honestly, but yeah, you'd think they'd clear it up, but they never do. It's just the karting track on the inside of the hairpin. It's a good place to put that, I think. And I'm being told there's absolute downpour currently in Darwin. We're not actually in Darwin. We are a little bit off the coast, about 10 miles I'd say, away from Darwin to the east of it. As they go down the hill again. Yeah. Apparently Hidden Valley is currently experiencing a torrential downpour. It's 3 wide for the lead. For 7th place, sorry. 6th place actually. Behrman, Gasly and Colapinto. And how they almost kept it 3 wide through turn 1, I don't know. But it's Behrman in front of Colapinto. Gasly as well. Antonelli swooping by. You can make some great moves around the outside through 2. And 3 as well, because Gasly got caught up, kind of boxed in on the inside there, and Antonelli swoops past him. And Behrman now down inside of, who is that? Gasly as well. I know I'm meant to be watching the front runners, but this is actually decent racing further back. I never really go for the further back. I'm normally watching this front. But we have got some great racing at the moment. And we have the first proper laps at Troyton Raceway after being interrupted on the opening one. Gasly, Colapinto, the 2 Alpines in what are meant to be Lotus liveries. Of course, they're not Lotuses, they're Williams. Oh, that was nice. There's Sainz just behind Colapinto. Are Alpine going to play some team games? Is that... No, it's Sainz versus Maloney, actually. Side by side through the banking. Colapinto down inside on his teammate. That's a great move. And Hadjar as well getting involved. They're kind of spread out a bit now further back. And Hadjar down inside of Maloney as well. And Hadjar up into the top 10. It's a great move from the Frenchman. In his second full-time start. How are the front runners doing? Norris versus Russell just behind. The 2 championship leaders from last year. Going at it. For 4th place, Verstappen in 3rd. Didn't have a great race last week in Pukohe. There's a huge wobble from Piastri, and Piastri makes that wobble into a move, and Piastri leads this race. And there's a spin there, and Tsunoda's round, and the front runners come together. And the top four, 5 of the top 4 have Behrman's involved as well. Verstappen off, Tsunoda off, Norris off. Huge drama, and that could see a safety car. I cannot believe it, and Verstappen almost took out Crawford there as well. And Tsunoda's trying to get around, and Tsunoda's taking out Vestiaire knock on. Goodness me. What just happened there? The front runners all come together. And I was saying how much they've cleaned up. And they do stuff like that. That's the pole sitter without a rear wing. Vestiaire without a goodness me. Rear wing. I'm not Andy Moore. But it's Norris now. Piastri, sorry, who leads from Antonelli. Russell and Behrman still 3rd and 4th. They were involved in that, right? Am I losing my marbles? I don't know, but no, I don't think they were. It was Verstappen, no, it was Verstappen and Norris, that's it. Albon's a little bit further back, I'm not sure what happened to him. He might have had an off since he came on the safety car. Yeah, the safety car is out, by the way. Because of that incident, I think they just want to clear up some of the damage. But there we go, Piastri leads Antonelli. I will stop calling them by the wrong names. I know it says Perez, it is Oscar Piastri, I do promise. But yeah, what on earth happened there? Who are we going to look at? We're going to look at Max Verstappen on board. Let's fast forward it a little bit. It's under investigation, by the way, that move. No further investigation what happened on the initial start, by the way. That's just been deemed a racing incident. Of course, it was Albon spinning that caused it all, but I mean, he kind of penalised himself. So Piastri gets on the grass a bit. And then whose fault is it? It's Norris and Verstappen just merging in with each other. Russell with nowhere to go, so actually, yeah, he was involved with it, but was able to get away quite quickly. But it's just, they kind of merge into each other to Verstappen and Norris. I want to slow that one down. Tsunoda, the innocent victim. Well, he was the innocent victim until he rejoined incredibly unsafely. And, I mean, hang on. What's Verstappen's steering wheel? I mean, he's going to the right. If it's to overtake Tsunoda, I don't know. But no, he's turning left, and then as soon as there's contact, I think the car just goes from his rear, and Verstappen spins. I want to see on board of who would that? I want to see on board of George Russell, because it could just be. I think that's mainly on Norris, you know. I think that could be put on Lando Norris. Let's go on board of Russell. Then once we've done this, we'll have a look at Felipe Drugovich, see what happened to him. But yeah, I'm thinking this is on Norris. Norris sent it down inside of Verstappen. They're still side by side. Verstappen gets held up. And yeah, Norris has turned into him. I think if anyone's going to get a penalty, it's Lando Norris there. The reigning champion. An innocent victim as well. So yeah, what happened to Drugovich? This is after the restart. Albon sent it down inside on 2 cars. Now Drugovich and Doohan side by side of each other. Oh, that's a huge crash for Drugovich. Goodness me. That is a humongous accident. How did we miss that? Hopefully he plays okay. I mean, we wouldn't be seeing the replay. I think that might be why. Goodness me, that's a huge crash. He is so lucky not to have gone through the, into the harbour there. That is ginormous. There's the front right just gets shredded on that inside wall. Because the Armco slightly sticks up and then airborne for Drugovich. Uses the rear wing. Lucky not to hit the top of the tunnel. And then he rides the barrier, hits that wall. Then he's ballparked at this point. Then he is between them, the 2 posts. This is the best angle we're going to get, unfortunately, I think. That we kind of get an angle here, actually. This will be better. So, I mean, I've already seen this, but see it again. Just hits that. Hang on, let me turn tabs off. Hits that, then he's between the two walls, barrel rolling. Hits the fourth wall. Does he actually? I don't think he did hit the fourth wall. But then goes back onto the track. Thankfully, he was at the back of the pack. And there was no more cars coming. That was a huge accident for Drogovic. And yeah, I am being told he's okay. I mean, wouldn't be seeing the replays if he wasn't okay, which is obvious. But yeah, that was enormous. So how is everyone doing? We're still under safety car. The lights are off. I think I can never tell. I think they are off though. I'm going to quickly fast forward so we're back live. There we go. Yeah, the safety car lights are off. So Piastri will be in control at the end of this lap. Antonelli in second place. So round the final corner. And it'll be up to Piastri to lead them away. Can he get a better restart than Tsunoda did earlier on? We'll have to find out. Let's see when Piastri chooses to go. He goes now. And can he defend from Antonelli? Antonelli already on the inside. He had a great slipstream, and Antonelli's already into lead. Piastri's down to third before we even get to the first braking zone. It's Antonelli. I need to turn the tabs back on. That would help me to remember who's who. And there's Pierre Gasly round the outside. Behrman sends it on Piastri. He's down to fifth already. It's a horrible restart from the Aussie at his home race. And it's Gasly who leads Antonelli. Sainz up to third. Where has he come from? Behrman fourth. They're all banging each other as they go through turn 5. And Verstappen sends a huge send. That's about 4 cars in one corner. What a move that was from Verstappen. As they go down the hill into the tunnel, hopefully no accidents like we saw with Drogovic earlier on. I think they're all going to be safely through. Lap 10 of 60 this is, by the way. Piastri down inside on Hadjar. And Hadjar gets past him. Hadjar in the V-Cub up to 5th place. Piastri down to 6th. It's a horrible restart for him. I saw a bit of debris fly off someone there. It's Gasly who leads Antonelli. Sainz in 3rd place. Behrman in 4th. Piastri 5th. And they go round the banking. That's a great sight to see all these cars go through that banking. Look at behind as well. It's a shame with all the car tags, but can't really see the cars. There we go. Piastri is 3 wide almost going down the hill. That's surely not going to work. 4 wide almost. How are they making it through? To go to start the next lap. Sainz was 3rd, now he's 8th. He's lost so many positions. It's about 8th to 11th here. That's Lando Norris trying to get involved. Hadjar, Maloney. Where have they all dropped down to? As Albon gets past here, Pourchaire. Crawford in front of Colapinto. Crawford dropping off a bit actually now. And Pourchaire. Let's look at the front runners. Behrman, Verstappen, another send down the inside in that corner. As I think Tsunoda and Gasly made a bit of contact there, the 2 former teammates at V-Carb. Now at Red Bull and Alpine respectively. Anthony down to 4th. It's Behrman who leads from Piastri. Verstappen in 3rd place. As they go through the banking once more. Any moves we're going to see? We do see a move. Piastri past Behrman. Verstappen trying it on the exit on Behrman. He's going to have to be in the next corner, I think, for the left-hander. Round the outside. He avoids that deadly curb. That curb is really costly if you hit it. Verstappen, though, has to back out of it and stay behind Behrman. But through the downhill section, the corkscrew. Verstappen in front of Piastri. And Behrman, Verstappen into the lead. I meant Verstappen past Behrman. Verstappen's got the lead. Behrman, Piastri and Antonelli 3 wide through the final corner. Tsunoda watching and going to be eating it. Whoever, what am I trying to say? Praying on whoever loses the battle is the word I was trying to say. I don't know where eating came from. But, yeah, Antonelli in front of Piastri. Antonelli sends it down the inside on Verstappen. What a lunge that is, and what a move that is. He takes the lead. Verstappen down to 3rd place. But he goes straight back into the lead. Ding dong, whatever you want to call it. Absolute madness. Absolute cinema. Verstappen, Tsunoda, Antonelli down the inside of Tsunoda now as well. I mean, you can get excited about it, but it'll just change in 5 seconds anyway. And it's the Blackheath boys, the absolute anarchy going on at Troyton. As they kind of calm down through this section and they go back at it through the banking. This racing, honestly, is so much better than last week at Fukuoka. Come back to Troyton every week because I knocked my water bottle over. I'm giving myself a sore throat again. I mean, it's quite late on a Sunday night, early on a Monday morning if you're in Australia. I'm not sure how tired the drivers will be. I'm assuming they're getting a lot of rest. It was announced a few hours before the race that it was postponed to today. So, yeah, as they go down the hill, hopefully it looks like they've cleaned their acts up. But last time I said that, we got a safety car right after it. As they go through the final corner again. Tsunoda leading Verstappen, leading Piastri. They're side by side though. Who's going to come out of it on top? Honestly, I reckon Tsunoda won't have the lead, to be honest. Antonelli tried to send on his teammate. The two Mercedes going at it with each other. And Antonelli up to 4th place in front of George Russell. The two Mercedes drivers are looking good. There's Behrman almost with a move. There's Piastri and Verstappen going at it with each other. And now Antonelli trying to get past him. Antonelli, the youngest, what a contact there, the youngest Grand Prix winner to Max Verstappen, so 2nd youngest to Max Verstappen I should say. I think, actually, I don't know, actually know. But yeah, I'm actually watching the NASCAR live currently. I'm not going to spoil anything, but yeah, Vegas. Not the best races. I'm a super speedway person personally, but yeah. And Ferrari Challenge North America at the what's it called? Thermal Club. As Piastri's round, and he's not got rear wing. What on earth happened there? Drama again, and I said, why am I jinxing things? Piastri is off. What happened there? The safety car's out and there's been a collision between Verstappen and Tsunoda. The Red Bulls come together. I cannot believe it. Verstappen involved in the safety car issue again, just like last week. And he's at the back of his teammate. I cannot believe that. What is going on at Troyton? We've got another safety car. This time because Piastri's crashed. He's in the pits now. Porcher also got damaged. Albon maybe as well comes into the pits. He comes out pretty quickly. He might just be changing tyres. I think he has just gone on to the mediums. Absolute anarchy. What is going on here? Yuki Tsunoda has no rear wing. I cannot believe it. I mean, it was a late safety car call and maybe Tsunoda just didn't see it. and just slammed onto the brakes. He must have, yeah. And Verstappen just... Oh, another 10-second time penalty, by the way, for Lando Norris for causing a collision. That's for the previous safety car. And we could see a penalty here as well. Verstappen did actually get a penalty last week for doing some... not... Colapinto, sorry. Got a penalty last week for doing something very... Literally doing the exact same thing when the safety car came out at Pukohe. So will we see a penalty for Verstappen? I mean, you can see... The Tsunoda came in, already under investigation, by the way, as is the collision with involving Piastri. We'll get replay of that after this. Verstappen's got to be slowing down. He's got damage as well. Yeah, what did happen to Piastri? Just contact and spun, and then everyone, Russell, Colapinto, and Porsche, everyone just piles up into them. Colapinto loses out a lot. Who did he actually make contact with? It was Verstappen. So Piastri and Verstappen just come together. Is that anyone at fault or what? I don't know. It's a strange one. So Piastri gets the move done. Locks up through the corkscrew. And then we'll turn tabs off. Tags, sorry, not tabs. Well, Piastri's already not got a rear wing. Where did he lose the rear wing then? I didn't even notice that. Is that contact? They just come together. I want to see on board of Antonelli before making a judgment on that. Because it's not up to me, it's up to the stewards. But I'm curious as to what they decide. This will be probably the best angle. Piastri, you can see him losing the car. I think that's on Piastri. I don't think we'll see any penalties for that. Just watch again. Show it in real time afterwards. It looks to me like Piastri's... One more time. It looks to me like Piastri's losing the car. I'll pause it just before you can see he's already... I don't know. I think, if anything, that's on Piastri. Let's see it at normal time now. Yeah. I think the stewards will put that on Piastri, I think. And we'll see NFA. Or NFI, whatever you want to call it. Verstappen's cleared another penalty. And here we go, just like last week we saw Colapinto rear-ending Verstappen. 10-second time penalty for Max Verstappen for causing a collision. So I'm not surprised there either. It's a shame because it ruins both Red Bull's races. They still haven't pitted as well. I don't get why they haven't. But Antonelli will have the best position at the moment. But yeah, safety car lights are still on. So I'm going to have a quick break and I'll see you once the safety car comes in. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. We are at the end of this lap already. But let's see how it goes. Everything already cleared up, I mean, apart from that front wing on the side of the track. So, I'm assuming, yes, Noda will follow the safety car in. Verstappen's already come in. He came out, let's have a look. Probably right there, yeah, down in 19th place, ahead of only Colapinto and Hadjar. But we are green. Don't watch him. We're watching Antonelli versus Norris into turns 1. Still Antonelli, I'm assuming Norris, or maybe even Behrman as well. We'll send it. Behrman does send it. Kind of bullies Norris out of making a move there. And Behrman from 3rd to 1st in one corner. Yeah, well, 2 corners. And it's Antonelli actually back in front. Here it is. Antonelli made the move. That would help. There's Norris down the inside. Norris sends it. Norris almost spins Antonelli. Goodness me, we're actually going to get any proper racing. Norris sends it on. Behrman does as well. Behrman onto the grass. That's going to slow him down a bit and help Antonelli to get past. There's a bit of grass being kicked up there by someone. Not too sure who. And Antonelli almost hits the wall there. Goodness me, that was close. Still only Drogovic, by the way. That's actually DNF. We didn't even see a safety car for that crash. It was a huge one. And also, we are 40 minutes into this race. And we've done 17 laps. Jesus. I thought we'd be going for a while. Unbelievable. Anyway, where is... There we go. By the way, Hadjar and Colapinto are out of this race. I didn't notice. So I'll have a look at why that is in a second. So yeah, that other Verstappen was actually last. Because yeah, Colapinto out and Hadjar out. Not too sure why that is, but it's Sainz who leads now from Behrman and Norris. So Carlos Sainz in front, trying to get his first win since the 2023 Australian Grand Prix. How did I not notice that they were out of this race? I don't really understand that, but yeah. And now Behrman goes straight back into the front of the race. Norris trying it as well. Sainz will probably drop down. No, Sainz goes off. Behrman almost goes off onto the grass. I think Behrman, no, he's just about kept the car in a straight line. I don't know why Snowden waited so long to pit. But yeah, I just saw him at the bottom. He's almost lapped down the pole sitter. His race is ruined. Is it Norris? No, Norris didn't lose his front wing. Calm down. No, he did lose his front wing. Norris has got damage. I think he just hit the back of Carlos Sainz. He did just hit the back of Carlos Sainz. Why is there a tyre there? What is going on? The race has been drama after drama. Can't believe it. And yeah, Norris with no front wing, so it's Gasly who leads. Sainz will get past him, so will Antonelli. I'm surprised actually we didn't see a red flag from that crash of Drogovic. Like, how did they clear it up so quickly? I mean, the safety guard didn't even come out after that. I don't know. I'm surprised about that, but yeah, we are still going. And Antonelli in front of Sainz. Gasly leads. We'll get a replay of Colapinto and Hadjar in a little bit. But we'll get a replay, don't worry. I'm being told that Colapinto had a pretty hefty off coming into the pit lane with Piastri and Albon. And then they got stuck outside the pit. That's what I'm getting told. But yeah, we'll have a look in a second or in a bit. But Gasly, Verstappen, Sainz, Russell, Lawson, Maloney, Crawford, Bortoletto. Albon in 10th, back up after that first time in the point since he went off. There's a big gap between now Albon and Vesti in 11th place. There's the sole remaining Cadillac driver. Not doing too badly. And the only remaining Alpine is second. Pierre Gasly, a huge change to see Colapinto out of the race. Hadjar as well, they were both looking racy. Colapinto was the one we saw involved in the accident with Piastri and Albon. Not Piastri and Albon, with Piastri. Yeah, huge shame to see them both out after the promise they showed at the start of this race. We are on lap 20, which is actually a third of the way through this race. I'm not doing too badly, and I thought Lawson was going to spin Sainz around there. Probably haven't seen any accidents going through that banking yet. Go up the hill towards the corkscrew. Lawson in front of Sainz. Now Lawson in front of Maloney. He gets in front of the Spaniard. Does the Barbadian in his second start for Aston Martin. Bortoleto as well, down inside. What a send that is. From the Brazilian. He gets past Maloney as well. No, he's already in front of Maloney. What am I talking about? I don't know. But Bortoleto in front of Maloney, in front of Sainz. And it's Verstappen who leads Antonelli. But Verstappen, remember, has a 10-second time penalty. So Antonelli in second place. Net race lead. Antonelli down to third place now because Gasly's got in front of him. How far ahead is Verstappen? It's a decent amount. Yeah, he has got to serve that penalty. Norris, I think, has served his 10-second. Or he hasn't. I don't know. He might not have. Because he's also got a penalty, remember, for the collision with Verstappen earlier on. Then Verstappen, of course, is for rear-ending his teammate. It was Verstappen, wasn't it? I'm trying to think, how has he not got damage from it? I've got no idea. I'm a bit confused there, but yeah, Verstappen leads from Gasly. Will Gasly try and make a move onto the banking? It's quite a big gap, but you never know. He does. He has the inside line, and Gasly goes for it, and Gasly takes the lead. Russell in third place is watching on further back. It's Gasly who leads from Verstappen. The two former teammates from Gasly was at Red Bull for half a season in 2019. As they go around the final corner, the complete lap 20, we're officially in the second third of the race. Unfortunately, most of the first third was on the safety car. And now we're going to be third time lucky with me not jinxing it and saying that we're going to have a clean race. Or that we're having a clean race, at least. I was trying to see if there's got to be a Triton Racing logo somewhere on this track. Just so you can see what the actual logo is, which is what the track was based on. There's Verstappen back in front of Gasly through turn 5. Russell fighting as well. Russell locks up a bit. But he might get past Gasly. They're going to be side by side through that dangerous turn 7 or turn 8, whatever it is. No, Russell gets in front just before. I'm being told that Teo Porcher potentially has an issue. No, he's not. He's still going. Fighting with Piastri. It's Piastri. Oh, Piastri locks up a bit there. They both do, I think, actually. As Piastri sends it down the inside. And gets into the grass a bit. Now they're side by side going at it. Going through turn 8. And who's going to take the lead? Oh, the crash with Porcher. No! Porcher's hit the wall. He's lost his front right tyre. And he is so lucky that he didn't have a similar accident to Felipe Drugovich. And he is slowly crawling. I don't think he's going to make it to the pit lane. Will we see a safety car here? Or can the marshals get the car away before anyone goes near it? He's like mid-pack. There's still quite a few cars. Here's Yuki Tsunoda. Don't hit him, Yuki. Why aren't you overtaking him? There we go. They were sketching. Doohan's off now as well through the final corner. As Crawford comes in the pits out of rear wing. And now out of front wing. What on earth is going on? Verstappen leads from Liam Lawson. Then it's Gasly. Then it's Russell. Antonelli in 5th. Russell just got past that Gasly. Maloney, Albon in 7th place. About to get past Maloney, I think. Yes, he is. He gets the move done. No, he doesn't actually. Albon's still chasing Maloney down. We'll get replay of Porcher and Albon. And we still got a few replays actually to look at. As these two are catching up to this front pack for second place. Is Albon going to try and make a move? I don't know. Russell versus Antonelli though. Through the hairpin. Albon's way far back. I don't think he will actually. Russell dropping back a bit though. Maloney trying to get past him. Maloney had a huge issue. I'm not sure. Russell had a huge issue going through that hairpin. Now Albon will chase him down. Let's go on board of Albon. As they go up the hill chasing Russell down. Doesn't that engine. He's going to send one down the inside on Russell. He is. He goes into the grass a bit though, bounces over the curb. And there's contact between them. The two make contact. And Doohan's still there. Oh, no, Doohan's a huge crash! That is a horrible crash. Why is Doohan still there? What on earth happened there? Albon's still going, but Russell's out of the race, I think. What happened there? That was huge, and we've seen a red flag. The red flag is out. That was huge. What happened there? Russell is off. Doohan's off. Through the final corner. Remember, red flag regulations now say that you just stop on the track where you are. That was huge. Albon's somehow still going. He's smacked into Doohan there. Hoping they're both okay. I'm hearing on the radio they're both okay, but we won't get replays just yet. That was huge though. That was huge. I'll go for a quick break, and then we'll see you once we get more info. And welcome back to Troyton. We have got news that Russell and Doohan are both okay, so we'll get a replay of what happened. They are in the process of clearing the cars away. Let's see what happened to them. This is a lap. I need to go lap later. No, it's even further back, I think. Come on. Oh no, too far. And even further. Okay, let's just fast forward it. Easiest way to do it, I think. So let's see what happened between Russell and Doohan and Albon. So hang on, let's go back a bit more. So Albon absolutely sends it. No, what am I doing? Idiot. Yeah, Albon absolutely sends it on George Russell. Where he's going, I don't know. But there's definitely all four wheels off the track. So he would have to get that position back anyway. And is that what he's trying to do, maybe? It might be, and then doing this, he's still there. Albon obviously doesn't expect it. And it's a huge hit. Is there any other angles we could go for? Let's go on board of Albon. How did he not see him? He must have been just trying to focus on Russell, giving the position back in his mirrors. And just didn't see Doohan. How he's still going from that hit, I have no idea. How is there no damage there? Slow that down. His eyes just must be in that wing mirror here. And he just can't see Doohan, then he turns around. He absolutely T-boned. That defies physics. That well and truly defies physics. Why was Doohan there in the first place, though? I want to know. First of all, let's go on board Doohan for the hit. It's a big hit. Glad he's okay in the Alpine. Glad no one else hit him as well. And how no one hit him before that, I don't know. Yeah, so Doohan, I'm assuming it's this lap. Don't think he has a front wing. No, he doesn't. So how did he lose that front wing? Let's have a look at that first. Has he lost it yet? No, he hasn't lost it. He would have lost it in the banking. Let's go on board. Is it Sainz or Albon he hits? It's Sainz. He goes into the back of, loses the front wing. And then, how does he end up where he does then? It must be that same weird issue we have with people wanting to come into the pits that potentially Vesti has an issue with. I mean, if anyone, it would be Vesti 8. Why does he try and go around the outside? And then, yeah, Vesti doesn't want to pit. And it's a big hit into the wall, actually. And then for some reason, why don't they just... I don't know, to be honest. Anyway, while we're here, let's have a look at Hadjar and Colapinto. This was ages ago, actually. So they're just both stuck there. Okay. That's strange. So Hadjar's already... No, he's not a lap down. Oh, it's here. Okay. So he loses his front wing in that instant with Piastri. And then wants to come into the pits. But who's on his inside? It is Bortoletto. And similar issues. Not similar issues. He just gets spun. And yeah. And then here we go. Here's Colapinto. Oh, it's a huge crash. Colapinto jumps over the pit wall. I was told that's kind of what happened. And it's Albon and Piastri. What on earth happened there? That's a weird off. Who is the best angle? Let's go on board with Albon. What on earth? That is a weird one. So Albon's car is made of steel, I'm convinced. So Piastri spinned him into the wall, and then... Yeah, that's on Piastri. What is he doing there? Oscar, come on. Why overtake? Like, what are you going to gain from this? I mean, Albon kind of lets him... Oh, I don't know. It's a very weird off, that one. Anyway, I think that's it for replays. So, let's go back live. Oh, yeah, where the red flag came out. Let's fast forward a little bit. And then I'll go another little break while they clear the rest of the track up. And, yeah, I'll see you shortly. Hello and welcome back to Troyton, where the 30-second board has just been up and we can restart the Australian Grand Prix. Red flag, of course, out if you've just joined us because of a huge crash between Doohan, Russell and Albon. Albon somehow survived it. But Russell and Doohan unfortunately out of the race. But yeah, we are ready to get going. So let's hang on. They're going? There we go. They are off. And Verstappen, of course, who leads from Pierre Gasly, from Kimi Antonelli. Decent lead that Verstappen's got, though. Over the Frenchman. Verstappen trying to win for the first time since when was it? He did win last year, didn't he? I can't remember. I didn't think he did, actually. It would be the 2024 thingy Grand Prix. He won 2 in a row. The Italian Grand Prix of 24, I think. I don't think he won last year. Could be mistaken. But I'm 90% certain he didn't win last year. So, yeah. No, he did. Sorry, he won the Bulgarian Grand Prix, of course. That crazy race that he crashed out of and still won. But, yeah. I mean, not really much racing, but I'm sure they'll catch up to each other eventually. They're just getting back going after the red. You know what? I think we will see a move into turn 1. No, we won't, because Verstappen just gets completely overtaken by Antonelli there. What on earth? That was weird. How did he manage that? I have no idea. Yeah, I just want to check actually. It was Verstappen that rear-ended Snowder, wasn't it, earlier on? No, it's the next safety car, I think. No, it was this one. I think. Hang on, was it? No, it wasn't this one, it was... It was this safety car. Now I'm missing a little bit. There we go. It was Verstappen, I thought so. Don't know what I'm playing at. But, yeah. There we go. Back live, nice. So it's Antonelli versus Verstappen. Round the outside goes Verstappen and Antonelli. Is he going to get the move done? And Antonelli does lead. Last win, his only win, mid-Ohio last year. Not long after Verstappen's last win. Verstappen was his... I don't know how many races he's won. Around 50-ish, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. It's like it's going to be these two. Jack Crawford, you can see a little bit ahead. A back marker. Vesti is the only car lap down. You can see him just behind... who's that? I think Gasly. Here it is, just in front. Behind Gasly is now Verstappen leads. And Antonelli versus Liam Lawson. The V-Carb. Doing very well. Let's see. Verstappen with a huge lead over Antonelli and Lawson. Those two's battle. And actually Gasly getting involved as well. No, Antonelli pit. So Antonelli in. Antonelli in. There's a few more in as well. See who came in a second. Antonelli is in. Sainz is in. Piastri stays out. I think it was just Antonelli and Sainz that came in. They didn't have damage. That would be a scheduled pit stop, I think. And it's now Gasly fending off the back marker of Frederick Vesti in the Cadillac. Cadillac had an awful start to the F1 stint. They've already doing have a huge crash at the start of this race. Well, not right at the start, but around the start of it. And then there was, how did Pico here go? I don't think it was that bad. This wasn't that great. It's them and Haas that have really struggled. And I think because they're using Marussia and Caterham cars, I don't think it helps, to be honest. But, I mean, where were Toro Rosso in 2013? They've got Liam Lawson in 3rd place. I'm going to say where a Sauber. Sauber wasn't that bad. Back in 2013, of course, running for Audi. It was Porsche that almost won last week. Red Bull, of course, were the best car in that dominant era for them. Sebastian Vettel's 4 championship wins in a row. So I'm not surprised that it's been Tsunoda and Verstappen kind of dominant. Tsunoda's got both pole positions so far this year, and they've both been near the front despite having issues. Of course, Tsunoda getting rear-ended earlier on by his own teammate that currently leads. Verstappen, remember, still has that 10-second time penalty to serve. Where's Lando Norris? Because he does have a 10-second time penalty. I just don't know if he's served it yet. I think he has. Yeah, Norris has definitely served it. He would have served it, I'm pretty sure. Wait till I get news in my ear, but I'm pretty sure he has served it. Yeah, he has served it, okay. That's good to know. That's why he's a little bit further back. That was the collision, if you remember, with Verstappen and Behrman. Behrman, of course, got an unlucky victim, and Russell even more unlucky victim, but he was thankfully able to get away. No, it wasn't Behrman, it was not... Hang on. It was Russell. Oh, hang on. No, it was Tsunoda, that's it. Yeah, it was Yuki Tsunoda. Of course. I think. I'm actually tripping. What? I don't know. But yeah, Vessi I think is about to unlap himself. Obviously, yeah, he's on the better tyres. Vessi on mediums, snapping on hards. They go down the corkscrew. Verstappen's got a huge lead on Gasly. Very often we've seen that in this race. Have you seen a battle between Gasly and Lawson? Not really. Where's the battle? I want to watch a battle. No. Piastri by himself. Tsunoda by himself. Maloney versus Antonelli. Here we go. Antonelli, of course, pitted already. Don't think Maloney has in the Aston Martin. I don't think anyone's pitted just yet. No. No one in that lap. Is Kimi going to go for a move on Maloney? Down the inside, possibly. No, he's not. While watching this one, say a big congratulations to... What's his... Oh, how have I forgotten his name? Bro, oh my days. The Japanese WRC guy, how have I forgotten his name? Katsuta? Katsuta. I'm an idiot. I'm going to Google it. I'm actually shocking. Katsuta. Takamoto Katsuta. There we go. Congratulations to him for winning his first ever WRC event. First ever Rally 1 in WRC for him at Safari Rally Kenya earlier on today, over this weekend, of course. Speaking of Japanese drivers, these two are catching up to Yuki Tsunoda. Lap 27 of 60, almost halfway of this shortened F1 race. Of course, actually postponed as well. It's a Monday morning currently, Sunday evening over in the UK. They made it early in the morning. One, because Lawson's pitted, by the way, but one, because the rain later on today is also awful, and two, to aid the Europeans. I mean, it's 11:30 over in mainland Europe. It's not exactly early, but still not the end of the world. But I mean, I thought it'd be a battle between these two. They're kind of just following each other. I think we kind of calmed down a bit in terms of overtakes. Come on. Nope. Okay. Just watch them. You know what? I'll let you watch them, and if anything happens, I'll be back. Maybe I should look what I'm looking at. Yeah, Anthony in front of Maloney. Someone else pitted, I think. Or was that? Or no, that was still Liam Lawson. No, it wasn't. Who's pitted? Sainz in? No, Sainz versus Albon. The two Williams at it with each other, going up the hill. And it's Albon in front of Sainz. It might have been Behrman. No, Behrman was never there. I don't know who pitted. Still Verstappen who leads though, from Gasly, from Piastri. Tsunoda fourth. Agnelli right behind him though, chasing him down. Are we going to see a move? I want to see how the two Williams are doing as well. Albon, I think, is in front of him. Agnelli down inside on Tsunoda. That's a lunge. That's a great move from the Italian to do that. And the two Williams as well, just behind Albon versus Sainz. Albon comfortably in front. Lawson just watching on behind as well. Next up for Agnelli is Oscar Piastri. Agnelli, of course, has pitted, so he is on the much fresher tyres. These haven't pitted yet. Well, I mean, no, Piastri has definitely pitted because he had a crash earlier on. But I think all of these are fitted, to be fair, because Verstappen had to pit to replace his front wing on the safety car and then ended up back in the lead. But now Gasly leads. When did Gasly get past? I don't even know. And is that Vesti a lap down? Near it is Vesti, the back marker. Not a lap down yet. Let's see, Verstappen right behind Gasly. He's gained so much time in the uphill section. Is he going to make a move? I don't think so. After this lap, we will be halfway through this race, which has taken ages, it felt like. But that safety car definitely hasn't helped. I'm starting to get a little bit tired, quite late over here. Are we going to see move for the lead? Into the hairpin. Is Max going to go for it? He almost rear ends Gasly. On the exit though, is he going to make it work? They're going to be side by side off the corner. And I think Verstappen might just have to back out. No, he finds a gap. Round the outside. He makes it work. That's a great move from the Dutchman. And he shows why he is one of the best drivers in the world still, despite his Red Bull not being one of the best cars in the world. And Verstappen back in front over Gasly. Where has Gasly gone to now? He's already quite far back. Where is he? There's already a huge gap. Then Antonelli chasing them down. He, of course, got in front of Piastri just earlier. Antonelli has got in front of Gasly. Doing very well is the Italian. Making moves up this field. He is making moves is the Italian. But they are both still chasing down Verstappen, especially Antonelli. Sorry that I'm not really talking much, I'm trying to sort something out, but I'm all sorted now. Yeah. Let's have a look. That thing is end of the NASCAR, but, yeah, Antonelli second, chasing down Verstappen. Maybe not say the same thing over and over again. Okay, something's in my eye now, brilliant, that's helpful. There you go, I think we're all good. It's Antonelli just behind Verstappen. I don't think it'll be long before we might see an overtake for the lead. And the man who changed from 33 to 3 over winter, sorry, on lap 33, is being chased down by Antonelli in second. I said like 10 times in the last minute. I know, I'm an awful commentator. But Antonelli down the inside, is he going to make the move done? No, he's not. You can see the brakes, how hot they are. The detail is crazy. You can see the red, orange, amber, whatever you want to call it. Verstappen still in front, but Antonelli, he's on much fresher tyres. He's already managed to close up that gap that he lost when he pitted. That's how much slower these cars are. And I'm sure he'll go for it. Into the bank hairpin. Tsunoda in third as well, not too far behind. Is this other Red Bull, and he's actually going to go for it, and he gets past Antonelli. What a slingshot he got there. He's going to go for the lead, he is. That's an unbelievable move from Yuki Tsunoda. That is absolute anarchy. And Antonelli gets in front of Verstappen as well through the corkscrew, and Antonelli trying to get back past Tsunoda. That is an unbelievable overtake from the Japanese driver, who's actually going to come straight into the pits after that. So, what a blow of nothing that was. Away goes Tsunoda, and Antonelli into the lead of the race. Crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy. And now Piastri trying to get past Perez as well. You know, I'm going to go for a quick break, and I'll see you after the end of this lap. Hello and welcome back to Troyton. I know I've gone for a little bit, I do apologise. But, we just saw Verstappen come in, so that would have been him serving his 10-second time penalty that he got ages ago. For rearranging his teammate as Lawson's been spun round at turn 5. And Piastri's got up on it as well. And I hope that's not them out of the race. Lawson on the softs. Piastri on the hards. And I don't think I think we've avoided the safety car. But Piastri's now not got a front wing. And Liam Lawson is got going as well. He has got a front wing. I think he got away from that mostly unscathed apart from the positions. But what on earth happened there? I'll look for 1 second. Of course, I come back when the stuff starts happening. That's ideal, I guess. Here's the battle for the lead. Anthony and Ben will get replay in a second of what just happened. And then comes Behrman and Sonoda. And I'm sure Piastri will join them, as Lawson actually re-overtakes him. I'm assuming it would have been Piastri that spun the Kiwi. It was Piastri, not had a great start to the season. Been two very messy opening two races. The last one he crashed out of. No, it wasn't Piastri. Piastri got caught up in it. Did he just lose it by himself? Someone else lost their front wing as well, actually. Not sure who that was. Who was that? Whoever's behind him at the moment that spun him. No, I think he did just lose it by himself. Under braking is actually a mistake from Lawson. One more look. It wasn't Sainz, was it? No, it completely by himself. Completely by himself. What a weird incident. Not to see that very often. Driver error causing issues, but we did there. As note, we are way too far in front. Hang on. Almost. There we go. No, that one run. There we go. Back live. So who does leave then? Lead, not leave. Antonelli, Norris in second place. Sainz third, as Norris gets overtaken by Vessi, who's trying to run lap himself, but no can do. And we're on lap 40 almost. Almost 2/3 of the way through. And in comes Norris again. Why is there a tyre in the middle of the straight? That's not normal. Verstappen down to 8th place after serving that penalty. Put on the soft tyres, has he? He has, sorry. His teammate Snowden not too far behind. Norris, he'll come out just behind Verstappen, but in front of Sonoda. This will be tight, actually. He also goes onto the softs. It almost spins the car around again. Down inside goes Sonoda. And Sonoda on the warmer tyres. Gets in front of the Brit. Albon in 5th. Lawson 6th. Is everyone on softs? I believe so. Albon's on hards. Everyone else on softs. And they've got a battle for second here. Behrman in front of Sainz. He gets second place. With Bortoleto watching on just behind him, 4th place. Antonelli with a huge lead. Feel like he might have to pit soon though. Same for Sainz, he's also on the mediums. Everyone on softs, I believe, pitted recently. Albon on a completely different strategy to all of these. We've got a great battle going on here. Albon, Bortoleto and Sainz. It'll be Bortoleto and Sainz going through the left-hander. And up the hill they go. Down the hill now, down the corkscrew. And it's Bortoleto in front of Sainz, in front of Albon. The two Williams going at it with each other. Sainz in the second start for the Engrove outfit, I'd like to say. I'm pretty sure. No, it's not Engrove. I don't know. No, don't actually know. But yeah, is Albon going to make a move on his teammate? Through the right-hander, he is. Goes onto the grass a bit though, but stays in front of the Spaniard. Goes wide though, that won't help. And Sainz gets back in front. Not too bad from him. Sainz now chases down Bortoleto. Or can Albon get back in front? Lawson's already caught back up. He's in 6th place at the moment. With Verstappen already up to 7th. That's 10-second time penalty. Completely unfazing him. As we go towards the banking once more. We're officially in the final third of the race as Albon bounced over those sausage curbs. I said earlier, these curbs on this track are deadly. And that almost took him out of the race. But he's lost time there. He's been overtaken by Lawson and Verstappen. And here we go. Albon it's into the back of Lawson. Verstappen, sorry, he is. Very messy lap for Albon. And now Tsunoda's right behind him. Tsunoda gets past him. Norris up next to be overtaken by the Thai driver who peeled into the pits. Hopefully he didn't get floor damage when he hit the wall just. Hit the curb, sorry, just. Bouncing over them wouldn't have helped them. It's Bortoleto versus Sainz up the hill. And Lawson, Verstappen, Tsunoda. The two Red Bulls by each other. Up the Ty Gibbs. Is Verstappen now trying to hold on. It's almost midnight here in the UK. 10 minutes until that happens. And it'll officially be Monday, and I've got college in the morning, so I'm getting no sleep. But yay. Anyway, Verstappen with Norris just behind him. These two have already come together once this race. Lawson just in front as well. We're finally getting some more battles again. Bortoleto, Sainz, used that down in his head, and Sainz, Tsunoda. Bortoleto and Tsunoda going at it. We've got Vessi just in front. Sainz will go for the move on the banking, goes round the outside. And is he going to get it done? He almost does, but he's getting held up by Sainz. Sainz versus Tsunoda, versus Bortoleto. Sainz down inside on the Tsunoda. He was trying to get past Bortoleto as well, which he does, up the hill and then back down straight away. And it's Sainz, Bortoleto, all four of them. 5, 6, 7. So many cars battling it out for third. Third to 8th, that's 5 cars. As Vesti, the lap car, peels in, so does Liam Lawson. As they go towards turn 1 once more. Who's in the leader coming out of it? They're 3 wide almost. That can't end well. Surely it does not end well. Bortoleto and Verstappen spinning into the wall, and they're both out of this race. No, Bortoleto still going. I think Verstappen could be out though. He is out. Verstappen, no. He was doing so well. He was so dominant in this race. But now Max Verstappen is out of it. Collision with Gabby Bortoleto. And that adds absolute drama. I don't think the safety car will be out. But I cannot believe Verstappen's luck. He had such a great chance to win it. And now he's out of it. Let's get a replay of what happened there. He's slipstreaming Sainz. Tries to go down the inside and just gets spun round by Bortoleto. Hard hit into the concrete. He is out of the car and okay, which is good, what we wanted to hear. Bortoleto though with huge damage. Thankfully he could continue. And I want to see on board with Bortoleto what happened there. He's guessing the curb and spins him. That is 100% on Bortoleto. And I think we'll see a penalty for that. I think we'll see a penalty for that. That's a huge shame for both of them, really. Oh, there we go. We are back live. As Gabriel Bortoleto finally finds the pit lane. Has Albon gone off? No, I don't know. He might have just pitted. I don't know. I'm not sure what just happened to Albon. But he was just in the battle. Well, I'll have a look in a second what happened to him. He goes up the hill. Why have the pack all separated? Like, it wasn't, only 2 cars went off, and surely that doesn't mean they have to all scatter. Don't really get why that's happened. We've got Piamoni, Piastri, Albon, where's Liam Lawson? Lawson versus Vessi. I know it's about Marco battle, but I want to see what it's like to chase a car down here, or maybe Sainz is better, because we can see them chasing each other. Down inside goes Lawson on Vesti. And I don't think anything's really going to happen though. But I want to watch them through the banking. What does it look like behind the battle? I know it's a battle between back markers. Who does a spin there through the banking? That'll be Albon. As now they go down the hill or up the hill. Lawson versus Albon. Who Albon almost loses the car. He does actually lose the car. Going through the hairpin. And there's another off again for Albon. Big hit into the wall. But his tyre's gone or something. I thought Albon was having issues, and now he's into the wall, and I think Albon could be out of this race. He is out of this race. The man that spun on the opening lap, he's still going to try and bring it back to the pits. She just about does. Almost crashes. And he spun the car around. What is Albon doing? What is Albon trying to do? He's going to reverse it down the pit lane. I don't know if this is allowed, to be honest, but yep, you do you. Not the safest thing in the world. Smoke coming out the car now, and goodness me, Albon. What is he doing? I think he's going to put into the pits to retire. There's the Williams pit box. Oh, it's Red Bull apparently, but peels it in, and yeah, out of the race he is. So let's get a replay of what happened there. So first of all, why is he so far back? So we just had the incident between Verstappen and Bortoleto. Did he pit after that, or what? No. So why is he so far back? He was in the battle, wasn't he? I'm sure he was. No, apparently not. I swear he was. No, apparently not. Oh, he just pitted though. That was that. Anyway, so first of all, he spins going through the banking. Let's have a look what happened. Just loses the car. It's a weird one. Surprised he didn't hit the wall there, actually. The back end just steps out. But thankfully, he doesn't hit the wall there. Unfortunately, he hits the wall later on. Going through the corkscrew. There's the Troyton Raceway logo, by the way. So that is basically the track layout. And then down the hill, loses the car in a big hit into the tyre barrier. Good job, it is tyres there. And I mean, not nothing. It doesn't fly into a local beach. Which is literally what is off the track. Yeah, just spins it by himself. Did he get on the curb, maybe? Slow it down. No, he loses it way before that. Bounces. And then big hit into the concrete. I mean tyre barrier, sorry. Anyway, let's go back live. Oh, I'm actually out live. Nice. Perfect. Anyway, not long to go now at all. Who is it who leads? It's Yuki Tsunoda, the man who started on pole, fell down a bit. Now he's back in front. But I'm not sure where he is in terms of strategy-wise. Norris and Behrman just behind him. These top three, I think, could be very strong this season. Be interesting to see how they do. Very interesting to see how they do. I see a bat marker actually just in front of him. Who is that? It's Esteban Ocon. So he's another man a lap down. Is Tsunoda, Norris and Tsunoda both get past Behrman there. Behrman with an awful turn 3. Now Tsunoda chasing down behind Norris. Trying to chase him down. There'll be 13 to go at the end of this lap. 12 to go, sorry, at the end of this lap. I'm interested to see how it'll end up. Who will end up winning? Tsunoda tries it. And Tsunoda leads. Norris second. Where's home driver Piastri? 7th place currently. The other home driver, Jack Doohan, involved in the Hugh Jackson earlier on, which caused the red flag. And also, when I said the time earlier was 10 to something, it's not 10 to midnight because of the red flag. It was probably around midnight then. But this race will probably end around 12:30, I'd say, UK time. So it's not an issue. But still, Norris versus Tsunoda for this race lead. Ocon just in front. Could he play a part in it? Remember, no blue flags in this. Well, there are blue flags. They're just a warning more than an order now. That got changed back in 23. Crazy to think they're already in the 4th year of F1 Fantasy. The series that started in 2023 to replace F1. We wanted to use a more wide range of tracks, not the same ones every year. But it's a shame we don't get to see great circuits more than once. I mean, there are some circuits that could be seen one once, and you never know. They might decide that we didn't actually use the right cars for Troyton. We could come back here. It's snowed up. It's Ocon a lap down with an actual great lunge. It's a decent move, but they're still side by side. It is really hampering Tsunoda. Behrman's disappeared. He might have pitted. Yeah, I've got no idea where Behrman's gone. It's Norris. That's a huge wobble there, trying to get past Ocon to lap him. Behrman I just saw behind in the background, by the way. So he's no longer missing. Oh, lock up. And Norris down the inside on Tsunoda through 6, sorry. Then the bumpy 7, 8. Turn 9. Then 10. Tricky braking zone that Tsunoda will use to make the move. And can he make it stick before 11? He can. That is a great move. That is a great move from the Japanese driver. But Norris straight away back. Norris back in the lead through the hairpin. The bank hairpin corner. Great place for moves today. And he will do it. But Tsunoda tries to fight back. And he goes down inside through the corkscrew. These two are showing some great moves. But Norris straight away gets back in front. And Tsunoda will slow down a bit. I thought we were going to possibly pit then for a second. Bortoleto, the next car a lap down, by the way, that could put these two off. But I still think there's a pretty big gap between those two. Of course, Bortoleto was up there before that collision with Verstappen. That did actually award him a 10-second time penalty, which he has got. But that will probably not be much of an issue. Where's Antonelli gone, by the way? He was looking pacey. Behrman's dropped off massively. Button versus Tsunoda into turn 5. Tsunoda back in front. No, because Norris fights back. Not Button, sorry. But Tsunoda will keep it well, though. They're still side by side with Ocon right behind them. They're going to be side by side through turn 8. Whatever number it is. And it's Norris who gets in front through the tunnel. But Tsunoda again lunges down inside on 10. And through 11. It's Tsunoda who leads into the final 10 laps. Ocon, will he try and unlap himself? Antonelli's 4th. That's where the Italian's gone in his sophomore season. Piastri in 5th place. Can he get a home top 5? Or even a home podium? Maloney 6th. Of course, last time he came to Australia was the Sydney Super Night that ended off last season. That race was won by Piastri as Tsunoda comes into the pits. What a race that Super Night was, by the way. To end the season off. And it's Norris now who leads Behrman. A huge gap between the two of them. How close is Antonelli to Behrman? Not that far away. Tsunoda comes out just in front of Piastri, but Piastri will have the warmer tyres. There's a huge crash between the two of them. And Piastri uses the front wing. Oh no, the home favourite. His race is run. That was a huge off. A big hit, sorry. I hope Tsunoda hasn't got any damage either. But Piastri definitely has. And you never know, he might have to pit soon anyway. Let's get a quick replay of that. I mean, it's more, partly Tsunoda drives into him, partly why is Piastri going for that lunge anyway? It's a flat out corner. I don't get that. I mean, Piastri's gonna catch up with him. I just don't think Tsunoda expects him. I think that's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. That is an unfortunate incident between the two of them. But we will fast forward and see Piastri peel into the pits. He still isn't in the pits, so he has lost a lot of time to Tsunoda. And Lawson, Sainz, Maloney are catching up as well. Don't know if Gasly's in this battle. No, he's not. Gasly is quite far back. Just shame considering how much into the battle he was earlier on. It's still Norris over Antonelli. Tsunoda up to 3rd. Behrman pitted. So Behrman came in as well as Piastri. Behrman will have a much quicker stop considering he didn't have the front wing damage. He's out already. Side by side to Gasly. They're almost crashing each other again. Can people come out of the pits normally, please? Goodness me. But Norris still leading. Antonelli by himself, Tsunoda by himself. We've got a battle here for 4th between Lawson, Sainz and Maloney. Let's watch this, because at the moment, unless people pit, which they probably will do to be fair, we won't see much. But this, I mean, they're close to each other, but Not really seeing any moves, but you can make a move from decent way back on this hairpin. But I think they are just a bit too far back from each other. And I don't think it's going to work. No, it's not. The gap is just a bit too big, but you never know through this final sector. They can close up in the first sector as well. Can one of these get a podium? Lawson's home race last week didn't go to plan after winning it last year. Can the one, his neighbour home Grand Prix, can he get a decent result there? And then comes Maloney. So he will peel in from 6th place. And these soft tyres, I just don't think they're going to last. I do not think they're going to last. There's 6 laps to go now. It's still Norris who leads. He won the Australian Grand Prix last year at the Bend when it was the opening round in July. He won the opening round as well the year before in Malaysia. He likes winning on the east part of the globe. I don't think I think he's only had one race win that isn't in an Oceania Asian country, and that was at Brno last year. Apart from that, it's only been Sepang, Australia. I mean, he's only won 3 Grand Prix. No, surely that's not right. I mean, yes, he is a world champion. No, he won at Bathurst as well. So yeah, actually, yeah, also Australian. So he already won twice in this country. Can he win it for a third time? Can he get a 5th Grand Prix win as he's pitted? So Antonelli leads from Sonoda. Kind of forgot about the battle between Lawson and Thingy as well. Sainz versus Lawson just coming around the final corner. Will Norris get in front of them? He definitely will not. What about Behrman? I think he might stay in front of Behrman. He definitely stays in front of Behrman. That's comfortable. How are these two doing for the lead? Sonoda got in front of Antonelli. I do apologise for missing that. But I wanted to see how the pit stops were going. Oh, that's my throttle pedal. But it's Sonoda who leads, trying to get a third win, of his career. Antonelli wanting his second. Sonoda won in Spain in 2023 and Belgium last year. Belgium was the only one that went to full race distance. Technically, this also isn't a 305km race. But they shortened it by quite... I mean, like, they could have added a bit more laps, I feel like. But in the end they decided on 60. I think mainly because it's a round number, but yeah. It's not like it's a twisty track. I think it might be a 305, and they just got the distance wrong. It's not like it's a twisty track. It's a very fast track. It's not like Adria. It's a very slow and twisty, or long and twisty track, which is why they had to reduce the lap count because of time length, 2-hour limit. They would have just reached a 2-hour limit, just like we did at Ordos last year as well. Sonoda versus Antonelli for this win. You can kind of call Sonoda experienced now. He's been racing since 2021. When he first joined F1, he was the first driver born in the 2000s. Antonelli, 2007. Or was it 06? I can't actually remember. He's 19. Just remember that. So, yeah, I think he's 20 this year. So yeah, 2006 he was born. And the man I've been watching since F4, he goes for the lead, and he does go for it in the hairpin, and he gets it. Antonelli in front of Sonoda. As I was trying to say, Antonelli, I remember his win at Spa, ADAC F4. What year was that? I think that might have been 21 or 22. Back when the old ADAC F4 championship was still running. I think that was the last year of it. In fact. And then he went and won Italian F4. pretty dominantly. Won the F4 Motorsport Games medal as well. Gold. At, where was it? Paul Ricard, I think. And then Frecker wasn't so dominant. Didn't get a race win until that fateful day at Spa. But Snowder back in front now. It was that race, unfortunately, red flagged in the final lap when we lost Delano Van Hoff. But that Frecker season, he beat Rafa Kamara to the title. Kamara in F2 this year. Antonelli in F1 in his second year. F3 he skipped. F2 wasn't a dominant championship run like he had in all the other series. But the way that F2 is going, and the way that Prema are going, from a dominant force to kind of a nothing team now. Midfield pack at best. I think he finished 6th in that F2 year with a few wins. But at the moment he's second place with Snowder in front. My eyes are getting very tired. Not long to go now though. Can Snowder hold on and get his 3rd win of the year? Or can Anthony Capelino? Anthony came into the pits. He does. So that might be it for Kimi. He might not win, and that speech I just gave for him might be all for nothing. Where's Lando Norris? He's going through the final corner now with Sainz and... No, Spearman isn't even there. But will Norris get in front of Kimi? He definitely will, and so will Sainz as well. Completely off the podium for Antonelli. Norris won't pit. Now Behrman as well gets in front of Antonelli, dropping back a little bit, unfortunately, for the Italian. But it's Tsunoda who leads with 3 to go. No, 2.5 now, really. Not long at all now. Tsunoda leading Norris. It is Norris, isn't it? Wish I could stop the thing from moving. Ocon just in front as well. He's a lap down. Or 2 maybe, I don't know. Might be just 1. I don't think actually, probably isn't even a lap down, technically speaking. There is the Frenchman. Yeah, he's not actually a lap down yet. Vesti is a lap down though. By quite a way. We've got Crawford and Leclerc. Poor races from them. Bortoleto 10th. Lawson 9th. Piastri in 8th. Maloney, Gasly, Antonelli, Behrman, Sainz, Norris, then Tsunoda in the lead. 2 to go now in Australia. In this Monday morning race. When was the last time F1 raced on Monday? I'm not actually too sure. Not including the F2 World Cup at Macau. That was a Monday scheduled race, actually. To end off the Macau running for 2024. That will never happen again, I hope. I think that mess of the race that was. But Norris trying to chase down Tsunoda, but the gap is way too big. And I think this race will go to Yuki Tsunoda. Unless something happens. Ocon just came into the pits, by the way. So he is definitely a lap down now. Tsunoda, can he hold on? He started on pole last week in Pukekohe. Unfortunately, he just couldn't hold on. Issues, bit of damage. I think like everyone gets damaged at least once in these races nowadays. F1 is a bit of a crash fest now. But he couldn't hold on to that pole that was won by Behrman. And now Yuki Tsunoda. He's got to go up the hill, down the corkscrew, and round one more corner. Then all he has is one more tour of this Troyton circuit. Wonderful circuit that it is. It's such a nice circuit. He comes into the pits! Surely not. Surely his tyres aren't gone. No. You are joking. Norris is going to win it. He continues his Oceania run. And I was about to have a whole speech of Yuki Tsunoda winning. But it's not going to be. And Antonelli in as well. He just pitted. What is going on? Antonelli just pitted. Why is he in again? So his Norris is going to win from Behrman. What is going on? You cannot write this. Where's Ocon's rear wing gone? Ocon did a off on this final lap as well. He chooses not to pit and stay out. I mean, might as well pit and retire the car. He's a lap down. 2 laps down, actually, possibly. No, he isn't. He was a lap down. But Lando Norris, he got that very first win of the opening round of the season in 2024 at Sepang. And then 2024, this championship winning season, when he won the final round of the season, I cannot speak, at Bathurst for the Bathurst Grand Prix. And then the opening round again in Australia, but this time in Australia at the Bend, which he won. He won at Renault later that season as well. He couldn't quite win the championship and defend his crown, but he's going to do it in the second round, back in Australia, back at the top step of the podium. It's just a corkscrew to go now for Jenson Button, and the final 2 corners. It's pedal to the metal now, and he's got 1 more corner to go. Lando Norris wins the Australian Grand Prix. The home race of his teammate, they've all gone to him for the last few years. He wins on the final lap. You cannot write this stuff. Norris leads. Norris wins. Did people pit in the final lap? I don't think. Why is Antonelli in again? He just pitted 3 times in the last 5 laps. What is going on? I can't believe it. What's he doing? He's retired from the race. What? I'm so confused. What's going on? But Behrman second, Gasly on the podium in the Alpine, Maloney 4th in the Aston Martin. That's a great result. 5th for Sainz, 6th for Liam Lawson, Tsunoda 7th. He's in the pits. Antonelli 8th, Piastri in 9th. Where's Piastri's car gone? What on earth? Oh, okay, we're levitating and flying. Piastri is coming in. Why are they not taking the flag? I'm so confused. What is going on? And Piastri's home race is not going to plan. Well, he's not crossed the finish line. I don't get what's going on. I'm being told, by the way, that Ocon's had a huge crash on the final lap. But we've already seen that. I want to see what happened firstly to Piastri and then to Ocon. Why has Piastri not got half a car? So he comes out of the pits. And what happened to him? Completely by himself. Ocon just in front. Yellow flag being waved. Ocon with a huge crash on the final lap. So that's what happened to Ocon. And my Ocon had damage. And then in comes Crawford. Crawford with damage. Bortoleto as well. He gets damage, I'm guessing. Now Crawford's the one stuck. I want to go on board with Piastri. Did we just see Ocon there? So Ocon had his... This is where Ocon had a crash. Very similar to Drogovic at the opening around the start of this race, and at the end you have another similar crash. This time Ocon, what happened to him then? He just... car snaps weirdly. Drogovic clipped the inside. Ocon hits the outside. Let's get an off-board, see if we can see anything. No, he already had the damage, of course. That is a horrible accident. I think that's even worse than Drogovic's crash. Hope Ocon's okay. Again, so lucky not to go into the harbour. Hits the concrete wall. I want to go back a little bit more. You can't see the car snap. I mean, the car's not going to turn anyway, and it's must be the no downforce. Hits the wall again. He's just like Rogovic. No, he actually misses that one. Ballparks Just like Djokovic did. Turn that off. That is a slow, quick hit. Deceleration with that would be huge. And again comes back onto the track. I want to see that with full speed. Huge hit. So how did he have damage to begin with then? What happened to him? Oh, he's hit the wall here, so he's spun there. Or he hasn't got a rear wing though. Oh goodness, that's another big crash into the banking. Just loses the car. Did he roll there? I can't tell if that's a roll or a cartwheel. Is there a roll? I'll have a look slow down. Spinning backwards. He's upside down at one point. The catch fencing doing a great job to keep him from going into the sea. He kind of did do a half flip, half cartwheel there. That's a huge off. Anyway, let's go through results then. Djokovic, Hadjar, Colapinto, Doohan, Pourchaire, Russell, Verstappen, and now went all out. Ocon as well. He will be classified though as he completed 90% of the race. Then we got Vesti, Adnelli, and Piastri also not scoring. Piastri in his home race. I don't get why they pitted though. Then your point scorers: Leclerc, Sonoda, Crawford, Bortoleto, Lawson, Sainz, Maloney, Gasly, Behrman, and Lando Norris. Your race winner. Not sure who will lead the championship actually. It might who got the fastest lap. It was. Who was it? It was Sonoda that got the fastest lap. So he'll get the point. That's 3 points he's got from poles of fastest laps alone. Plus 2 points. He'll be on 5 points. He's such a shame for Sonoda having to pit on the final lap. But I think they're actually tied on points, Norris and Behrman, because they've had a first and a second each. Anyway, that'll be it for this very weird Sunday night, Monday morning race. Australian Grand Prix at Troyton. A great race, I think. Great circuit as well for racing. We're back next week for the Chinese Grand Prix at Zhejiang, 7 AM for both qualifying and the Grand Prix. We'll see you then.